Someone stole my manuscript and published it under a pseudonym. It was an autobiographical story about two men on a mountain who want to form deep male bonds. They even stole the surrealistic chapter where fairies prance under a rainbow. The circumstances behind the theft are very queer. Great news! While searching through the crates of colony supplies, we found a sickle. Now we have something that goes perfectly with our hammers. This will boost production sky high. I can almost see the glorious future. Great news! We found out how to use the muskets the Crown sent us. Apparently, all you have to do is pull the trigger. Our research was seriously hindered until we discovered you should not look into the barrel when pulling the trigger. We lost a lot of good men that way. Our research team, that is to say me, discovered the shovel 40 times. If I find out who put it there, I will kill him. Anyway, I gave it to the miners so they can put it somewhere safe, like underground. I sat with 3 other members of the research team. Suddenly, it dawned on us. We're 4 men. You get it? 4 men? Incidentally, we also discovered bad puns. Presidente, after suffering 1,000 paper cuts, we have invented paper. It has print on it where there will be a summary of important affairs, interviews with important Tropicans, and a page with political editorials. This will give a voice to every Tropican. Also, going to the little Presidente's room will be much more comfortable from now on. We, the leaders of the Tropican nation, in our desire to put into words the will of the Tropican people to follow and obey the laws of the state and maintain the traditional universal Tropican values of liberty, peace, love, understanding, siesta, and hidden Swiss bank accounts, do hereby sign the first legitimate Constitution of Tropico. We just discovered the number of times you need to get hit by a plank to actually discover something. It is around 7, depending on the plank in question. We call this the Planck constant. I am sure it will become very important one day. We have invented red tape. It goes well with everything, and there is no limit to this stuff. People are going crazy over it. Lines are forming to get more of it. It almost seems like it is trying to grow bigger and bigger, all on its own. Presidente, I hereby heretofore require you on the habeas cojones to execute a writ with a novation decreeing a perrace to one penultimo, hereby referred to as the penultimate party. Should you fail to comply, you shall thereby heretofore be denounced as a tortfeasor, and the Tropican people shall be taught the language of Legalese. Presidente, we didn't manage to get any research done, so we decided to steal France's greatest achievements. Unfortunately, we broke into their museum of military accomplishments, and all I found was this white flag. It seems we will have to work on our diplomacy skills. Here is our latest scientific data. Foreign diplomats are 45% more prone to agree with us if our diplomats fart less often, or if they at least stink less. As a part of a cross-group study, we also found that 33% of foreign diplomats do not like belching at the table. Finally, a staggering 95% have indicated that they have a very negative opinion of our diplomats singing the national anthem while standing on the top of the table naked. Who would have thought? Presidente, we discovered the tank. It was left unlocked at a military exhibition. We took it for a spin and for a while controlled most of Europe. We eventually ran out of fuel, but we managed to dismantle the tank and smuggle it back home. Now, we just have to figure out how to put it back together again. Presidente, don't research that. Don't you know that if you do, you will then research socialism, which everyone knows is bad. We should stick to our current model of capitalist cronyism. I, my friends, and all my relatives think that is the best model for government. Presidente, we discovered a way to decrease casualties in battle. We just have to put the most incompetent and useless soldiers up in front of the army and make them wear ornate uniforms in bright colors. This will make them feel important and add to their self-esteem while keeping them out of the way. A glorious invention, Presidente. Electricity. It's like organized lightning. There's no better way to put it. And you can make your own with a balloon and a little friction, just like making fart noises. Our research team developing new materials was wondering why this steel girder kept getting bigger and bigger until it hit them. They will be missed. Presidente, after thorough research, we have discovered the compass. It was in your cabinet behind the plans for world domination and under the bottle of rum. I have lent it to our captains so they don't have to navigate by their sense of smell anymore and can use bigger and better ships. Long ago, we weaponized jokes. Now, we have managed to weaponize numbers. Unfortunately, they have proved to be the most inhumane way to destroy the human soul ever invented and have been banned by most international courts. As a result, we can only use them on our people, and then only on select individuals able to survive the terrible effects. Presidente, I am sorry, but we didn't discover anything. For a small raise, maybe something will come up in our notes. Nothing big. 20%, and I will tell you our amazing techniques for begging for bribes. For an additional 5%, we will also make up a handbook that can be given to highly trained professionals who can then use these skills on foreigners. Presidente, we have made a major breakthrough. Oh, shiny. Anyway, we have deducted that. Oh, shiny. Our research indicates that. Oh, shiny. Our research goal. Oh, never mind. We tried to discover democracy, but it proved extremely difficult. Building a true democracy is like chasing a unicorn. Everybody has heard of them, but no one has ever seen one. We captured a whole herd of unicorns, but not a glimpse of democracy anywhere to be found. However, we did discover the expectation of democracy, which should be more than enough for simple Tropicans. Presidente, remember that show where we wanted to execute whoever was responsible because of the things they said about you? Well, now we have a solution. Every show is to have an executive, or a person we can execute if we don't like what is in the show. That way, everything will be much neater. We conducted thorough testing to identify the preferences of those strange species inhabiting foreign countries and found out some amazing facts. Did you know how to entertain a foreigner for an entire day? Put him in a round room and tell him there's a croissant in the corner. The valuable information we have collected will allow us to communicate with these simple-minded creatures. We've discovered the mineral oil, which can be processed into gasoline. The cars in Tropico no longer need to run on magic. Our profits are guaranteed until someone starts selling oil cheaper than us. Then we should bomb and invade them. Presidente, we discovered the best thing since probably the best thing ever. Presidente, we discovered flight. It's just like falling, but backwards. I can't believe no one thought of it before. Then we discovered landing. It's just like splatting, but it hurts less. We have been very hungover the last few days and have had no ideas. Fortunately, one of the research team had a flat tire yesterday, and we discovered the wheel. It's round, and it can be used in lots of stuff. Presidente, a new era of modern warfare dawns. With the discovery of ballistics, we can ensure that 10 out of 12 bombs hit their designated targets. The remaining bombs will politely allow civilians to clear the area before exploding. Presidente, I was doing some experiments with the products of neutron-bombarded uranium and made some astounding discoveries. Just kidding. I was actually washing my socks and thus discovered that nuclear power exists and can be harnessed. Ha! Just kidding. I never wash my socks. Presidente, I encountered a hostile atom today. It was attached to a hostile punch, attached to a hostile arm, attached to a hostile lady. This was clearly a provocation. I have declared a war on all atoms. I propose we use neutrons to split their forces. We have discovered a novel technique for scanning the brain and displaying its contents. while testing this new discovery on me, we found a huge empty space. The universe also consists primarily of empty space. Coincidence? I think not. Presidente, we have done nothing productive since our last research project. We almost started a war, and we killed a llama. See, it works. If you do something bad, tell everybody about it, and then say that you killed a llama. Everyone just asks why you killed the llama. Now we can do all sorts of bad things with no consequences. Presidente, look at these big, comforting letters. Obviously they are big because they mean something important. Anything important would surely be written in big, nice-looking letters like these. There is nothing below them worth looking at. Presidente, we have discovered the Internet. It was in the palace basement for who knows how many years. It seemed to work okay after I blew the layers of dust off it. For some reason, it seems to be full of cat pictures. And pictures of nude ladies and gentlemen, which I have taken to my office for further study. We are as small dust motes in the grand scale of the universe. Fortunately, we can take it out on others and make them feel even smaller. Let's make the building so huge that our citizens feel small and insignificant. It seems logical to me that then we would become more significant and much larger than dust motes. Maybe as large as tennis balls. Presidente, flawed patent laws allowed us to discover hot water. Unfortunately, now we are in hot water, as every nation on Earth is patenting left and right to get everything else that is not patented already. Fortunately, the unfolding scandal has left foreign tourists with the impression that there will be hot water in their hotels and attractions, and we can use that. Presidente, I finally put my foot down and called a plumber in to look at the pipes in the palace. The plumber started crying several times while working, but he told me that it's a good thing I called him, or we would soon no longer have been an island. Apparently, we were losing so much water that the worldwide ocean level was dropping by 2 meters per day. As you know, Presidente, we've been trying to improve flight conditions on the airplanes bringing tourists to Tropico. By keeping the livestock out of the crew compartments, requesting personal hygiene from the flight attendants, and placing seats in the planes, we managed to double flight enjoyment. Presidente, we have discovered the future. In fact, it will be happening any moment now. Our profits are going to skyrocket once we open a fortune teller booth. Did you know that human hair, eggshells, and spiderweb are some of the strongest materials on Earth? More importantly, they are cheap. Using other futuristic materials such as the skin of one's teeth will allow us to build buildings for almost nothing. Presidente, we finally found your Swiss bank account. We gave it to an investment bank. We had a really hard time following it around the world and uncovering it once they finished all their financial voodoo. Still, those shady bankers do seem to know what they are doing because it now has more money in it than it used to.